so we're gonna paint Minotaurs today, guys, and Minotaurs are really cool chapter. They're one of the few metallic chapter in the space. Well, I mean, there's not really few Space Marines because, you know, it's as wide as your imagination lets you go, but they're one of the few metallics chapter that are not traders. But they're really nice and they're bronze, and so we're gonna start with, we're actually not using any kind of bronze to paint bronze, believe it or not, but it works. So we are starting on a black, and then we're gonna go with Balthazar, because it is a gold, but it's really orangey, so it really pulls really close to bronze anyway, so that's why I like it. If we make a clever use of our black base coat here, then it's gonna work favor, especially if you airbrush it. Like if you paint it by hand, it's gonna work as well, don't worry about that. The finish is kind of different. That's one thing that I love thorough here. I'm leaving some of the black in the very like recesses, like underneath, but other than that, we want mostly gold. We don't want to leave. So now this was kind of a chat, so it seems that the painting 4,000 points Custodes has dried up my reserves Lord Brass, which would be a perfect highlight color. But Rune Lord Brass is basically Balthazar gold, shining silver, or I guess they call it the storm. If you're painting a whole army, just get Rune Lord Brass. Guys, all the chat money. We're gonna get through this. Okay, so before we sprung, look at it. Yeah, that is Rune Lord. Like this is spot on Rune Lord Brass, right? So our first gold, second gold. So this is our brass color, and this is the main color. So now we're just gonna airbrush from the top here. We're gonna let a lot of that first color showing through. This will give us like a good highlight, and then we're gonna amplify that with like shading. Like already this is fucking ballin'. And I like a little bit more like vibrant a little bit, so we're gonna leave it like this, but feel free to, because the silver color is really not that vibrant, because it's got the silver kind of tones it down, right? So if you want more of that like orangey color that's usually in the bronze, then highlight a little bit less. You have like, this is where you get to be kind of artsy fartsy a little bit here, and you make what you want. All right, lovely little dude her. So next step here, we're gonna wash. So this is, again, here you have like a lot of options depending on where you want to take this. For this case, like because we want to keep it kind of like through the form, I guess I will shade this with Reclan Flesh Shade, but you could do a Grox and you could do Nuln Oil depending on where. Like I think my personal favorite would be Nuln Oil, but it would be very dark, be a little bit darker kind of color than maybe the more traditional thing. But we're talking classic look here that you got. If you're not too worried about like running out or whatever, the Necron one that's like now discontinued, the Cryptek something, would do a good job as well. But I think overall Reclan Flesh Shade is just a banger, because it's got that orangish color, which is kind of also the reason why it's such a bad shade for actual flesh. It's because it's got so much orange in it, but because this guy is bronze, then the orange we kind of don't mind. We actually welcome. Maul is like drinking all of it. We're just gonna do all of it, despite the fact that like the shoulder plates and everything are kind of red. We're just gonna shade the entire model. But in here, like all these vents and everything, the plate, like the little I don't know what they're called, but that little, will it focus? It's a test of the new camera. Oh, it will. Like that little square over there with a black wash, it would like just like pop. It would be amazing. So light situation is kind of not fixed yet, but the camera, oh my, that new thing, Maroon, it worked. Real, this color. This Marine, I can tell you with confidence that this Marine scheme is going to be one of my favorite. Like I already love all about this. Also, if you're like painting Custodes, this would work tremendously well with Custodes. So that's also a thing that bugs me a little bit, is I have to stand this model upright, but it always looks dumb when it's upright. All right, so next up, we're gonna do all of the little casings, belts, and whatnot, pouches, and we're gonna do this with black, and we're gonna do it right now because it should give the wash some time to dry. Sorry, and here is kind of an area where you could do the pouch and everything in brown, but I like them black because it kind of it breaks off the model that would otherwise be like a whole lot of brownish color, because bronze is also very like on the brown side of, like I keep saying orange all this time, but it's really got like, it's an orangey brown. Boom. I mean, the saving grace of all this for me, at least, is that I already own a Custodes army that is very close to this color, so I kind of have this to fall back on, which I'm not gonna be like tempted to paint this scheme, because if I want to, I'll just go back to paint my own Custodes, and then I'll be kind of satisfied with it, even though it's slightly different. It's the Eagle situation. Eagle. So they Either they're being lazy, but it's all gold. Like so, this is a very simple scheme. Yeah. So the eagle is also bronze gold, so not a big deal, which is perfect for us if in terms of army painting. Because this model is like this is insane because it's an half an hour model for sure. Like if we want to paint an army over a weekend, we would have an army that looks better than like a lot of armies. Yes, and the chapter master has like the sickest, like he's got like the big shield and everything. It's an insane model. So this is pretty sweet. I like this. So now let's get started on the red. Looking for the bolters. I've seen I guess a contested area. A lot of people they painted silver, a lot of people painted black, and a lot of people painted red. Now I'll tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of the red bolter, but that's me. If you like it, just copy whatever we do in the shoulder plates on the bolter. That's fine. I'm not a red bolter kind of guy, okay? I've moved out of it in the 90s. If that's your thing, more power to you. And it's pretty easy to do. It's just not mine, so that's not what we're going to do. What we are going to do is going to go with Mephiston red here, and we're going to just base coat these little... we're going to take our time because we don't really want to mess up the trim. Well, they have a big dreadnought, but I think they're just... because the other dudes with the dreadnoughts are the red scorpions, which are the more, I think, more famous dreadnought guy, which is Commander Cullen, which in French roughly translate to Commander Idiot, which I love it even more. Like it's a slang term for an idiot. But that's how it is, and that amuses me greatly. So we got the red here, so one down, and then we're gonna need that's a 2-coater right there. Okay, we're not gonna try to do a 1-coat for no reason. Yes, the red scorpions are mostly a dark gray chapter, and they all have all they're very big on apothecaries. Yes, and that's why their commander, when he dies on the Siege of Vrax, he gets put into Dreadnought like right away. This is also another thing that varies kind of greatly is the level of the darkness. So some people like the very, very dark red for their model. I dig this really bright because I think it contrasts nicely with the bright metallics, with the brightness of the metallics on this guy. So I like this. So you see, so our first coat was not really perfect, but now with this second coat here and just a few like key places, we got a solid base coat. Now let's see knee pad situation. Nope, nothing. Even I'm trying to add stuff, and okay, I like it. And then we can add an extra highlight. So we'll leave this to dry a little bit. So next we're gonna use Dark Reaper, and we're just gonna highlight our. And this is kind of a very forgiving process because if you go too heavy, that's okay because you just add some more shading. If everything becomes too light or too, in this case, like bluish, because got a good thing going. Now let's finish this little scroll here, just because it's there and it's pissing me off. I see it. And now this is one of those cool chapter that you can do purity seals really nicely. They match really well with the overall like scheme of the model. Sometimes they just clash and it looks just odd. But this one being like brownish color. And now we're gonna shade this. I would be tempted to use Reclin, but that will kind of blend it with the armor, maybe a little bit too much if anything. Alright, so now we'll do the silver before shading the black, and that's just because silver is gonna be 2 colors and then we're gonna shade it with Null Oil. That's usually how I like to approach painting models. If I do an army, I'll do one base color. I'll do all the base color before doing anything else on it. If it was like not painted or no more. And we're doing it with Null because it's just so much better at like going into these like recesses with no effort. And that's kind of maybe a perk of doing like a scheme that's like so simple, is that we get to use this extra time to do these kind of things. Freaking balling. All right, so now last we need to add some of those markings for shoulder. Again, for shoulder plates, what I would do is get reference picture. I use it at least add these little lines. So we've got like these little lines here, and then the chapter symbol here is definitely, it's positively white. I don't know why though. Classy, yeah, Minotaur. There we go. So we're not doing the fucking Minotaur head freehand. That's stuff for crazy people. I would 100% get it. I would get like custom 3D printed bits or decals. I think with the price of like custom 3D printed stuff, either red or right yellow. So, I mean, that would be a good second. I would have leaned towards. All right, so yeah, eyes are always they're always tricky, especially now we're trying to cram in like 3 colors into this little place. So, like hold your breath, sacrifice a chick. Do this. So we have the eyes now. Not really. I could do the other way around for lenses for sure, like white, and then just like build up from white, which which I don't know, might be easier, but I like this technique. You just add like 3 little lines.